much do you hate feet? In this story, I'm about to tell you what that did to me as a brand new EMT. But first, howdy my peeps, if you're just tuning in for the first time, welcome to Mornings with Heather, that's me. And if you're coming back for more, thank you. I appreciate you, I really do. How's about we get into it though, huh? So, a little backstory is growing up, I've always found feet to be disgusting. Like, absolutely just disgusting. Cringeworthy, gag in my mouth, just disgusting. But, as a healthcare provider, you kind of have to overcome that. So, my very first call, and this is probably going to gross some of you out. So, like, if you get easily grossed out, this is probably, you just skip forward to, the next, section in this story. But my first call as an EMT, my very first call, was a gangrene foot on a drunk who lived out on the streets and didn't take care of himself. Like, no showering, no changing socks, no nothing like that. Just filthy, dirty, nasty. And he had an infection on his foot. Turns out when we got him in the back of the ambulance and I cut his boot and his sock off, because my brother was like, this is on you, I ended up finding out that he had gangrene. And you guys, if you've never smelt nasty, gangrene is pretty nasty. Like, it's rotting flesh. So then, to make it even worse, in the back of an ambulance, the only thing you have as a way of ventilating in the back of an ambulance is a window that opens up about this much. So, that being said, it was just not a pleasant smell. We ended up having to wrap his foot in a biohazard bag, believe it or not, and seal it until we got to the hospital. And then we just warned the hospital staff that, hey, his foot is pretty, well, it's biohazard bag worthy. So, and we just told him, please wait until we leave before you take that foot outside of that bag, because we already dealt with it in the back of an ambulance. That was my very first call. My second call was a woman who had her foot run over, so she claims, and broke one of the bones in the top of her foot. And then the last one was another woman who ended up kicking a desk and breaking a toe as a result. The first three calls, for someone who absolutely just had a foot phobia, not a foot fetish, they're totally different. They're opposites. My first three calls as an EMT were foot calls. So I basically had to get over that phobia in order to last in EMS. There you have it. My next story, still as a brand new EMT. My brother was my field training officer, and he thoroughly enjoyed that. But this was one of those shifts where we had been just running our asses off. No rest for the weary, so to speak. So this is probably, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And my brother and his partner were up in the front of the ambulance, and then me and another gal who was new and being trained were in the box. And there's just a little space between the two so that you can communicate with whoever's up front. And my brother being sly, decides he's gonna pop one of those ammonia inhalants and toss it back. And it lands on the gurney. And you guys, 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm not thinking straight. So I grab it and I take a big ol' whiff. Oh, crap! And my brother and his partner start, like, losing it. His partner almost has to pull over, that's how much he's laughing. And my brother was like, that was really smart. And I was like, hey, at least I don't need coffee anymore, I'm wide awake. So that's the time that my brother got me. He got me good with an ammonia inhalant. And I was dumb enough to take a big ol' whiff. Yeah, a big whiff. Kind of like if you were smelling something really good. That's what I took in a full lungful through my nose of that ammonia. And if you're tired, those things work. You won't need coffee. You won't need to do any jumping jacks or anything like that. Just take a whiff of an ammonia inhalant and you'll be awake for a couple hours. That's really all I got for you on this one. So until next time, stay happy, stay healthy, and most of all, stay blessed.